Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to do editing and all that stuff. In this video, it's a little bit different. I am actually building a CNC plasma cutter. So for about 8 months now, I've actually wanted a plasma cutter, and I've been saving for an Arc Droid or a Langmuir, I think it's a Fire Pro table, but they're pretty expensive. And my father-in-law's got these wood engraving lasers. He's got three big ones, and I've looked at them and I think, oh, if you can replace the actual laser head with a plasma torch and then just tell the computer to switch on the laser via the trigger, it should work. But I actually asked a couple of electricians at work, how can I do it? How can I make that computer switch on the plasma? And they can't really give me a straight answer because they don't know the voltage in the plasma and the voltage as the computer, what, maybe 5 volts or whatever it is. The only thing they can tell me is I can insulate the plasma wiring for the high frequency noise, so it doesn't interfere with the computer. So about a month ago, Half-Ass Customs, he actually figured it out. So shout out to him. He's got a 12 volt laser, and he just used a 12 volt relay as like a gate to switch it on through the plasma button basically. So shout out to him, he figured it out. So I had a 400mm by 400mm laser engraver table already, and on his Half-Ass Custom actually used a high frequency plasma, just like an eBay one, and I bought one because mine's only a 30 amp and I wanted something bigger. So what ended up happening, those things are not that great. They're pretty terrible. They don't want to start. They don't want to really work. So I've had this Unimic Viper 35 amp. It's pilot arc and it's low frequency. So instead of using that, I just used this. After I saw that that wasn't working, the high frequency eBay one, I just put my Unimic on it and it worked. So you'll see me in the next video. You'll see me build it all. I'll put a wiring diagram of how to wire up the relay to the button, and I'll put that all in the video and a description of which laser I use. So this is part 1. In part 2 I'm going to actually make it bigger, and then part 3 I'm actually going to buy motors and the controller and actually build my full own CNC plasma cutter. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Alright guys, after a whole day of struggling with the cheap plasma I bought, yeah, that thing is just like, it is what it is. It is one of those cheap things. It doesn't want to work. 1 second it works, the next it doesn't. You sort of have to scratch it like a like my Amiga welder's got DC TIG as well, but it's a scratch start. So you have to basically, like a match, scratch it and then it starts working, which here this won't work. So I've got my old Unimig 30. It's just a 30 amp. It can cut, I think, up to 5 mil. It struggles. The compressor also doesn't really keep up to that, but what I've done is, I'm trying, I've taken the handle, and this is the 2 wires that basically triggers it. All right, after the battery has died, got a new battery, so we're up and going again. So this is just the button for in there. This just sits in there, and the way I actually had to test the continuity, and the way it works is these two is actually connected, that terminal and that terminal is connected all the time, and same for that side. And once you press the button, it connects, like it will connect these two together now, or basically those two together. So if I make a small hole on the back, or I bring these cables out the back, the way it is now is I can use the switch as normal, or I can use the relay, will then connect this side, where the one cable will go in here and then the other one will go in here. So what it'll basically do is connect this side through the relay to that side, and that will trigger the plasma. So that will basically trigger it as normal. So technically now if I switch it on and I run it, it should run it through here, which I can't do it now because I can't run the compressor because it's dark outside. Anyways, it's a bit late. So what I'm thinking, I bought one of these, and this is just to hold like conduit PVC to the concrete wall sort of thing. Find it at the local hardware. Actually, I bought like 3 different sizes because they're like 20 cents each. So this will fit over that one, and I've just drilled new holes for that. So this is now just going to fit on there, and it is going to move, it is going to shift. I don't know, maybe we'll bring the hose and cable side back to here or something, don't know. Alright, so this is, I've just cable tied because like I still want to build a bottom for it. At the moment you can probably put a plate on this, but there's nowhere for the spark at the bottom to go. So what I'll do tomorrow is, when I'm going to test it, I'm just going to raise this up maybe on blocks or something, and I'll put the plate on blocks as well to determine the height of this sort of thing. I'll just sort of stage it a bit so that it is better and closer at the moment, but with the looks of this, so I've just hooked that up to there. I know it looks messy, it's dark outside. I'm just going to test it first tomorrow, and then which I know it's going to all work, but let's grab it there, go this way, go that way, back and forwards. That might, oh, that is actually an issue. That it's catching there, so that just needs to bring the ass up a bit. Just a cable tie. So, all right, guys, it's the next day. So in the morning, pretty cold. We are gonna give it a test. All right, guys. That compressor is pretty noisy out there. I just moved it out there because in here I can't run it without talking or recording anything. So just waiting for the computer to boot up. I've got it all set up. I think I'm just going to use a piece of scrap that I've obviously been cutting, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put these nuts on it, or it on the nut, so that it is sort of off the ground a bit. There we go. So then when I bring that So it's not far off. It's pretty close to where it should be in terms of that silver bit. That's sort of a guide. So it's not far off. So I'm just going to test it because I don't know if it's going to work, obviously. So I'm just going to test it like that, and just see what happens, and yeah, we'll see how we go. Alright, I created 3 files last night, but it seems to have copied basically every new file over the last one. So I've got this one little tab on here, like a shock tab sort of thing. We'll see if it cuts it. Let's go to, just so you guys can see. It seems like it wants to cut it, so we are going to say done. Wasn't too bad. I did start cutting it and it all works, so we'll do it again. I think I've got it, so I'm going to cut out a bracket for basically for a shifter right there, just a little bracket with a 8mm hole. So I did cut one, but it didn't really work well, so I am just going to check the frame again, and then I am going to start it. Ooh, let's stop that. Go frame. I think that's on. That's all. Yeah, that's the issues right here. I've unplugged that. Okay, so that should make it work. Let's go home. Alright, let's start again and see. The issue I'm having is that my compressor is too small to run a plasma. A plasma needs 186 liters a minute, and I only got a 130 liter compressor. And I need to work out the parameters where that little piece that's there, it will actually stay for a second cutting through and then start moving. At the moment it thinks it's a laser, so it will just shoot and start moving, where the plasma takes a minute to go through. But for that being like that, it's pretty good. So I did draw an extra line over that, and that's where that last bit went, so hoping it would cut it off, but it ran out of air. So, but for what it is, let's see if I can get it out there. Now, just make sure my view, not sure, but look at that. And So that will sort of just sit in there now. Yeah. Basically just go in there and that will bolt up to it. Looks pretty freaking good. I think that is a win. I just need to work out in the settings how I can get it to stay for a couple of milliseconds when it starts the cut, to stay there for a second and then move, or a couple of milliseconds. Pretty impressive. So from now on, every bracket for the Jeep will be cut with that. So well, that's it guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. As promised, I'll put the link in description for the actual laser that I have, the exact model that I bought. It was about 300 bucks when I bought it. They're about 500 bucks now, so I'll put the link in for that, and the laser, the plasma I'm using, sorry. Obviously a compressor. I would say buy a normal, I think I've got 160 liters a minute. I'll put in the exact one I've got. But it is a little bit small, so if you can get a bigger one, if not, use what you've got. I'm using what I've got. But I'll put everything in the description. There is a little photo of the wiring I've got for it, so the way I used it. So I'll put all that together, so stay tuned for part 2 and 3 of the CNC plasma build, as well as the Jeep. I'm sort of basically making videos for the Jeep as well, and trying to edit them. I'll post them soon as well. So thank you guys for watching.